What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This episode of Digging Deep goes over Deadpool. We'll be going over all of his cards, ranking them from 0 to 4. And these rankings are basically my first impression of the first 4 games I played with him, each in all 4 aspects. I did do his pre-con in the pool aspect. The 4 games were against Juggernaut, so just to clarify, though, these cards are ranked based on in that scenario. The cards could be ranked higher or lower for different scenarios. And as a reminder, this is my own opinion. So, yeah. Alright, let us continue. And as always, we start with the hero. And the hero, I bumped him up to to a 4. He's a 2/2/1, which is pretty good. It's pretty average, I think. Maybe a little less. I would put him at a 3, but I think his ability kind of puts him to a 4. The degenerate. Force interrupt when you would be defeated. Instead, set your hit points dial to 1. Change to alter ego form and add 1 acceleration token to the main scheme. 1 acceleration token is kind of bad, but his kit works around it, which is nice. Hand size 5, hit points 9. Moving on to alter ego. Alter ego is going to be a 3. Whatever alter ego is, there it is. It's 8 cost recovery. Break the fourth wall. Action, discard a card from your hand, search your deck for a Deadpool event, and add it to your hand. 8 recovery, you pretty much heal all the way up, which is pretty cool. 6 cost, 6 hand size, 9 event. I kept forgetting to do this ability. That's why I bumped it down to 3, because it was my own forgetfulness about this ability, which I never used. I just recovered and flipped him right away. So that's why it's 3. We're going to move on to Cable. Cable I put as a 3 as well. 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't think it's a very good stat line per se, but so it's just a stat line alone would be probably 2, maybe 3. Cable gets +1 thwart and +1 attack for each acceleration token on the main scheme to a maximum of 3/3. Wild resource. Now he would be a 4, but with this ability, but it's so depending on when you get him in your hand during the game. If you get him at the start of the game, he's just going to be a 1, 2, 3, which is I don't think worth it. But in the later game, if you have him, he'll be good. He'll be a really decent 3 attack 3 times for 9 damage. Great. It's all about that timing, I think. Exhausting personality. This is actually going to be 2. What's this look like? 0 cost event. Place 1 acceleration token on the main scheme. Stun and confuse the villain or exhaust player's identity. That player draws 1 card for each acceleration token on the main scheme. Now this really depends on the timing, as if like you're ready to start handling acceleration tokens, and you can. So yeah, it's all about basic timing. I used it once or twice, like after I was built out and ready to go and had everything ready to have multiple acceleration token. If it's like the start of the game, I don't think it's a very wise idea to do that, especially if the threshold is super low. Moving on to maximum effort. This one, right? This one is going to be 3. Mainly due to timing. 0 cost event. Your action attack. Take any amount of damage up to your remaining hit points. Deal an equal amount of damage to an enemy. Strength resource. So very good card, especially if you're full health. You can deal 7 damage. I think can you do 8? I don't know if you can do 8. But I just did 7. You can deal 7 damage or more if you have endurance or symbiote suit. But it does focus on timing, so if you're already down to 1 health, this card's kind of useless unless you can make it work somehow. Moving on to Meta Knowledge. Meta Knowledge, I put as a 1. I always forget what's okay. When an encounter card is revealed, cancel all of its effects and discard it. Take 1 damage for each icon, boost ability icon, and boost icon in that card's boost area. Now this is another timing thing, like if you can handle taking the damage, but also I kept forgetting to play this, so that's also why it's super low. That's all I have to say about that. Yoo-hoo is going to be a 3. Basically, for the time 1 cost event, take any amount of damage up to your remaining hit points. Remove an equal amount of threat from a scheme. Very good card, but like I said, it basically depends on your timing. If you're low on health, then you can't really play this card at all. But if you're high on health, it can be a real killer to get all that scheme that you gained. Get it down to by 7 if you don't have any upgrades. Moving on to Montage. Montage is going to be a 3. This card generates 1 additional wild resource for each acceleration token in the main scheme to a maximum of 3 additional resources. Very good card. But, like it said throughout the entire hero pack so far, timing. If you get it right away, it's just worth 1. But if you can get it up to when you have more acceleration token, it becomes a really good card. Chimichanga Truck. This is a 4. I really like this card, especially when you draw it right away. After an identity makes a basic recovery, exhaust Chimichanga Truck, ready that identity. Especially if you're not ready to add acceleration tokens to the main scheme, either whether it's really low threshold or not, you can use this to flip up, heal, ready, and then do other stuff. So I like this card, very fun. What are we looking at now? Armed to the Teeth. Armed to the Teeth I marked as a 2, mainly because I didn't play it at all. 2 cost upgrade response. After you play Armed to the Teeth, search your collection for 1 weapon upgrade from any aspect and attach it to face down here. Action, exhaust Armed to the Teeth. Swap the card attached here with a weapon upgrade you control. So I think it can be a very good card, but I didn't want to focus on this card while I was doing my initial feelings of the deck, because I wanted to figure out most of his cards besides playing this. So this is why it's 2, sadly. Deadpool's Katanas. Deadpool's Katanas are a 4. They're a 2 cost upgrade, restricted. Exhaust Deadpool's Katana and take 1 damage. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. This attack gains piercing. A really good way to take off tough if you need to, which I had to playing Juggernaut. And it deals 2 damage for 1 damage from you. That's really good. I thought it was 2 damage for 2 at first, so I was playing it all wrong. But I like having these out. You can do 4 damage for 2 damage on you. Pretty good card. It Ain't Over. This is another 4 card. This is a card I think you want to get out as soon as possible. It increases the target threat of attached scheme by 2 for each acceleration token on it. So once you have this out, then you can start piling those acceleration tokens onto the card, making it harder to get to that threshold and allowing you to do a lot more combos with the hero kit. Moving on to this card is Fire. Is another 3. 3 cost event. After your turn ends, if this card is in your hand, take 1 damage. This kind of made me lose some games because I drew it on Alter Ego side. Hero action, deal X damage to an enemy. X is the amount of damage you have sustained. Strength resource. So this is a 3, mainly because you have to think about when you might be getting it, so that way you don't flip to or somehow end up on Alter Ego with 1 life. And it's a very timing thing. So if you're full on health and you draw this card, you're not going to be able to help yourself with that, unless if you have a maximum effort. But if you are down to 1 hit point, and if you have any upgrades, this can be a massive damage dealing card, which is very good indeed. So that is all Deadpool's cards ranked. His overall score that I gave him is going to be a 7.5 out of 10. He seems very fun to play, but very chaotic at the same time. So I'm excited to play him, but also not excited to play him. Depending on who the villain is, it's interesting to see. But let me know what you think cards should be higher or which ones should be lower, and which, out of scale of 10, what you think his score should be in your own opinion. Other than that, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Deuces.